Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. And Merry Christmas to everyone celebrating the holiday today. Now let's start this video off with some Brandon Curry. These updates were taken 2 days out from prejudging at the 2022 Mr. Olympia. And comparing Brandon's physique from this year's Arnold Classic to this year's Olympia, he definitely made significant improvements, especially in the mass department. And even though Brandon Curry slipped from 2nd place to 4th at this year's Olympia, I believe he improved on his last package, which is a win, and he also placed ahead of Big Ramy, which is something Brandon has been trying to do for the past couple of years. And hopefully we get to see him defend his title at next year's Arnold Classic. From my knowledge, none of the top 3 guys from this year's Olympia are doing it. Samson Dowda is also planning to do this show, so it will be interesting to see Brandon and Samson battle it out. And I love Brandon's physique, but the glutes and the hamstrings definitely need to come up from behind. But I found it interesting. Big Steve commented on the top 5, and he only said that Brandon Curry needs to bring better conditioning. He didn't mention the actual size of the legs. And let's switch over to William Bonac, who posted this up recently. This was an update of Bonac about 2 weeks out from this year's Olympia, looking incredible. If I would have seen this at 2 weeks out, I would have thought Bonac is going to bring his all-time best. He honestly looks stage ready at 2 weeks out. So it makes me wonder, did William Bonac push the conditioning too far? This was a guy a lot of people had placing 2nd, placing 3rd going into this year's Olympia. But if you guys take a look at his physique, in my opinion, William almost looks downsized, especially in the upper body. And we could say that William came in a little bit flat, but taking a look at this back double bicep versus the one at 2 weeks out, looks like almost a completely different bodybuilder. And William said he was flat. He got in a little bit late on his flight, could have held a bit of water. But hopefully William can bounce back from this, just like he bounced back from last year's Olympia to place 2nd at the Arnold Classic, because he looked good at 2 weeks out. So hopefully something just went wrong in the last few days. And let's talk about the 3rd best bodybuilder on the planet right now, Nick Walker. And Nick did announce he won't be doing next year's Arnold Classic, so we probably won't see him on the stage again until next year's Olympia. And Nick had to shock at least half the world. A lot of people had him placing top 2, top 3. I personally had him placing 4th going into this year's Olympia. But there was also a decent amount of people who thought Andrew Jack, Samson Dowda, Hunter Labrada will all place ahead of Nick Walker at the Olympia because they have better structures. But as I said going into the show, we're not sure if this guy's going to come in condition. We're not sure if this guy's going to be big enough. But we know if nothing else, Nick Walker will come in big in condition. I'm excited to see more from this guy in the future. Now, I wanted to share this small update of Breon, Ansley, and Derek Lunsford. And huge shout out to Breon, because I'm sure a lot of guys would not want to pose shirtless next to Derek. But this just shows the difference between classic guys and open guys. Of course, Breon will be moving up to the 212 next year, but he hasn't started adding on that mass yet. And I'm excited to see both of these guys. Derek makes his open debut at the Olympia, places 2nd. Breon Ansley moving up to the 212 division next year. And also we have the Masters Olympia coming back with the Classic division. So Breon actually could have an opportunity to win a Masters Olympia title. And in the next update of the day, we have a recent update from Quinton Eriya, who is coached by Matt Jansen. And this guy is looking massive right now. Look how tiny his head looks in this front double bicep. Now, Quinton has a physique, I think, that is very similar to Samson Dowda. So this is a guy we definitely want to watch for in the future. And Quinton is very similar to Samson, but he has even better abs. Now, switching over to classic physique, we have a recent update from the 2nd best classic guy on the planet, Ramon Dino. And Ramon will be competing in the 2023 Arnold Classic. Unless Chris Bumstead hops into that show, Ramon is definitely my favorite to win. And somehow Ramon Dino is still making improvements from show to show. So from the Olympia to the Arnold Classic, I think Ramon just really needs to work on his posing. It has improved, but still could be a little bit better. Now let's talk about Alex Cambronero for a second. This guy placed 9th at the 2022 Mr. Olympia Classic Physique Division. This guy really impressed me. The only flaw I could find with his physique, he may have suffered a back injury. Symmetry is thrown off a little bit between the legs. And I guess there was a very glaring imbalance to the judges, because outside of that, I don't really see why Alex Cambronero was not in the top 6. This guy has a crazy physique, very small waist. And I mean, the legs could be a little bit thicker from behind, but we could say the same for Breon Ansley. But we will see Alex at the next Arnold Classic. Now switching over to Mr. Classic Physique Robert Timms. Everyone is waiting to see this guy on a bodybuilding stage again. Now a few weeks ago, Robert did say he was starting prep, but now he said he's just working out, doesn't really have a show in mind. Now everyone is looking for Robert to bring the legs up. Taking a look at the shot on the right, you may think he has brought them up, but guys, Breon Ansley is my favorite bodybuilder, and Breon has been struggling with his leg size. I noticed that guys like to take pictures from lower angles to make their legs look a little bit thicker. So hopefully Robert has truly brought the legs up and this isn't just taken at a good angle. But I just had to let you guys know that because I noticed with Breon Ansley, taking shots at lower angles make the legs look a lot thicker. Now switching over to a men's physique / classic physique update. One of my favorite men's physique guys, Kyron Holden, just announced he will be moving up to the classic physique division. This guy just came off a 6th place placing at this year's Olympia, which is a low for him. I believe Kyron has been in the top 4 for at least the past 3 years. But let me know in the comment section below, do you guys believe that he has the structure for classic physique? Andre Du was another men's physique guy. He just moved up to classic physique. But I'm not sure how these guys are going to stack up. You don't just move up bodybuilding like weight classes. You don't go men's physique, classic, and open. Especially with men's physique and classic, you have to have a certain physique, a certain structure to fit into those classes. So I'm interested to know what you guys think. If you even follow these guys, how will Kyron Holden and Andre Du place in the classic physique division? And ending this video here with the archive of the day, you guys let me know in the comment section below which legendary bodybuilder is this crazy Christmas tree. But as always, I hope you guys did indeed enjoy this video. If you haven't done so already, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm Kyron from Go Fitness, and that's it. I'm out.